never believed in the whole wrong place, wrong time thing until that night. It was just a typical Friday evening. I was driving home from a friend's place, taking my usual shortcut through this old, dimly lit road. It was quieter than usual, and fog was rolling in, thick enough to make the streetlights look like distant, hazy orbs. As I was driving, my headlights caught something unusual. There was this old, beat-up car parked on the side of the road. No hazard lights, nothing. Something about it screamed off to me. I slowed down, peering through the fog, trying to see if someone needed help. That's when I noticed the back door of the car was slightly ajar. I should have driven past. I know that now. But back then, my conscience wouldn't let me. So I pulled over, leaving a bit of distance, and rolled down my window a bit. "Hey, everything okay?" I called out. No answer. Just the sound of the wind whistling through the trees. I hesitated and got out of my car, leaving the engine running. "Hello?" I approached the car slowly. The closer I got, the more I realized how much the car looked abandoned. Dust and rust, this uneasy feeling creeping up my spine. I was about to turn back when I heard it. A soft, muffled sound like someone trying to speak through a gag. My heart started racing. Was someone in there? In trouble? I reached for the door handle, my hands shaking. Just as I touched it, I heard another sound. Footsteps. Fast. Coming towards me from the trees. Panic surged through me. I didn't even look back. I just bolted to my car, slammed the door, and floored the gas pedal. In the rearview mirror, I saw them. A figure emerging from the trees, running towards the abandoned car. They were hooded, almost blending into the night. My mind was racing. Who were they? What did they want? What about the person in the car? I didn't stop driving until I reached the nearest town. There, under the safety of streetlights and people, I called the police. They told me they'd check it out and that I did the right thing by not engaging. It took me a long time to calm down, to stop picturing that figure emerging from the darkness. I never found out what happened to the person in that car, or who that figure was. The police didn't find anyone when they got there. Just an empty, abandoned car. I drive a different way home now, always well lit, always busy. That night taught me some paths are better left untraveled. It's a story I share with a shiver, a reminder of how a moment's decision can lead you to the brink of something unknowable, something lurking just beyond the veil of the ordinary. And I always wonder, what would have happened if I had opened that car door? I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a moonless night. I was driving back from a friend's house in the countryside. The road was notoriously deserted and wound through dense forests, the kind of place where your phone signal goes to die. I always found the drive somewhat eerie, but that night, the darkness felt almost suffocating. As I drove, I noticed my car started behaving oddly. The radio was flickering between stations, creating a cacophony of static and snippets of random songs. I reached to turn it off, but before I could, the engine light flashed on. My heart sank. The last thing I needed was car trouble in the middle of nowhere. I decided to keep going, hoping to at least make it to a more populated area. That's when I saw it in my rearview mirror, a pair of headlights, seemingly out of nowhere. They were closing in fast, too fast. I felt a jolt of fear. Why were they speeding like that on such a narrow road? The car came right up behind me, its headlights blinding. I could barely see the road ahead. Then, just as suddenly, it slowed down, matching my speed. I couldn't make out the driver. It was like looking into a pitch-black void. The car just stayed there, looming ominously behind me. My mind raced. Was it a cop? A local messing with me? I didn't know, but I didn't want to find out. I stepped on the gas, trying to put some distance between us. No matter how fast I went, the car kept pace. Always the same distance behind me. Panic set in. I considered stopping. Something inside me screamed that would be a terrible idea. I remembered a gas station a few miles ahead, decided to make a run for it. If I could just get there, be around other people, be safe. As I neared the gas station, my heart pounded. But when I looked in the mirror again, the car was gone. Vanished. There were no turnoffs, no side roads. It was just gone. Pulled into the gas station, shaking. The attendant must have seen the terror on my face because he asked if I was okay. I just nodded, not sure how to explain what had just happened. I waited at the gas station for a while, gathering my nerves. When I finally resumed my drive, I saw no sign of the mysterious car. But the fear stayed with me all the way home. I never found out who was in that car or what they wanted. Maybe it was someone's idea of a sick joke. Or maybe something more sinister. But one thing's for sure. I never took that road at night again. The memory of those blinding headlights in my rearview mirror still haunts me. A chilling reminder of the night I was chased by an unknown menace on a lonely country road. On a warm summer night, I decided to take a drive along the quiet, tree-lined roads near my neighborhood. The streets were deserted, and the soft hum of my car's engine was calming. I had always found night drives peaceful, a way to escape the bustle of daily life. As I drove, I noticed a car in my rearview mirror. It was an old, rusted sedan, keeping a steady distance behind me. Initially, I didn't think much of it, assuming it was just another late-night traveler. However, as I made turn after turn, the sedan followed. A twinge of unease crept up on me. To test my growing suspicion, I took a series of random turns, even circling the same block a few times. The sedan mimicked every move. My heart started to race. I reached for my phone to call a friend, but my battery was dead. I was alone, being followed by an unknown driver with no way to call for help. Trying to stay calm, I decided to head towards the main road, hoping to find a police station or a crowded place. But every turn I made, the sedan was right behind me, its headlights casting an ominous glow in my car. In a moment of panic, I made a sharp turn onto a narrow street, hoping to lose my pursuer. That's when things took a terrifying turn. The street led to a dead end. Trapped, I watched in horror as the sedan slowly approached, blocking my only way out. I frantically looked around for an escape route. That's when I remembered the small emergency flashlight in my glove compartment. I grabbed it, holding it like a weapon, ready to defend myself if needed. The other car stopped, and for a moment, everything was eerily silent. Then the driver's door opened. A figure stepped out, shrouded in darkness. My heart was pounding so loud I could barely hear myself think. But then the figure spoke, and their voice was surprisingly calm and concerned. "Your car's rear right tire is really low. I noticed it wobbling and wanted to make sure you were okay," they said. Relief washed over me, mixed with embarrassment. The stranger helped me change the tire, explaining that they had seen me driving erratically and were worried about my safety. Once the spare tire was in place, they simply wished me a safe drive home and left. Driving back home, my nerves slowly settled. I realized how quickly fear and imagination can distort reality. The stranger who I thought was a threat turned out to be a guardian angel in disguise.